My mom secretly invited my sister to my wedding. Without my knowledge, my sister gave a speech about a mean incident from high school. This upset my husband, who asked her to leave. Now my mom is taking my sister's side. I, a 27-year-old woman, recently married my boyfriend of 7 years, Aaron, who is also 27. Our wedding was mostly wonderful, except for one incident involving my mom, aged 52, and my estranged sister, Monica, aged 25. Aaron had to ask Monica to leave after she made a speech that upset everyone. Now my mom is upset with Aaron, thinking he was wrong to do so. To give some background, Monica and I haven't spoken in almost 4 years due to an incident during a Thanksgiving dinner hosted by my parents. Monica had been flirting with Aaron throughout the evening, which I tried to ignore to avoid ruining the dinner. However, after dinner, Aaron told me Monica's behavior was making him uncomfortable. I confronted her, leading to a big argument. Monica insisted it was fine because Aaron didn't explicitly object, but Aaron is generally quiet and dislikes confrontations. That's why Aaron came to me to handle the situation. Monica then said Aaron deserved better, and that's why she was flirting with him, implying he should aim higher than me. My dad had to step in and tell her to stop, which made her angry, and she left. We hadn't seen each other since, which was a relief because Monica and I never got along. Since childhood, she was always competitive and tried to make me look bad, even though I was older. She was already mom's favorite, but wanted to be dad's too, resenting that he treated us equally. Our relationship worsened in high school and college, barely speaking. After that incident, I decided not to attend events where she'd be present. I'd ask Dad if she was coming, and if she was, I wouldn't go. It worked well, especially since Dad respected my choices unlike Mom, who always wanted us to reconcile, despite Aaron feeling uncomfortable around her. So I was shocked when Monica showed up at my wedding, uninvited. I immediately confronted my mother about inviting Monica, and she claimed it was Monica's idea. Of course, she suggested it when she heard about my wedding. Mom thought it was a good opportunity to mend our relationship as sisters. I disagreed and asked Monica to leave, but Mom insisted it would be fine. She was very wrong. While we were arguing, Monica grabbed a microphone and began her speech. I felt frozen, knowing it wouldn't be pleasant. She started with a normal toast, but then brought up a high school incident she'd always resented me for. Back in high school, when I was a senior and she was a sophomore, there was this guy, Chris, who was popular among everyone. We were just friends, but people misunderstood and criticized me for it. Chris had been away for a couple of years before returning, looking more attractive. Despite us being just friends, people still hated me for it. But nobody seemed to hate me as much as Monica did. I knew she had a crush on Chris and couldn't stand that he was close to me, so she went to extremes and tried to ruin our friendship by spreading a rumor that Chris and I were secretly dating. She even claimed we bragged about it at home, which wasn't true. Chris and I were onto her plan, so instead of letting her win, we decided to play along. We started holding hands in public and pretending to be a couple just to make Monica jealous. Whenever she and her friends passed by, we exaggerated our affection, enjoying her angry reaction. Soon, everyone caught on, and the joke was on Monica. People started mocking her for spreading such ridiculous lies, typical high school behavior. One day, when someone teased her about it, she decided to confront me in the cafeteria, hoping to make a scene. However, things didn't go as planned for her. Chris stepped in to defend me and scolded Monica for her actions. He pointed out that she had no right to berate me since she was the one who started the rumor to break our friendship. He called her crazy, insecure, and jealous, which enraged Monica even more. Her response was filled with such vulgar language that Chris had to walk away. I couldn't tolerate it either and told her to stop, but she continued swearing at us. In the heat of the moment, I grabbed her hair and slapped her. It wasn't my finest moment, and we both faced consequences for it. However, Monica blames me for making her high school years difficult, as people only remembered her for that incident. While I graduated, She had to spend 2 more years in school with those who witnessed her confrontation with Chris and being slapped by her own sister. It wasn't easy for her, but she brought it upon herself, and I don't feel responsible. She tells the story in a way that portrays her as the victim and me in a negative light. In her speech, she accused me of not only ruining her school experience, but also her relationship with our father. However, she conveniently left out the incident that caused him to stop speaking to her. Aaron finally intervened, taking the microphone from Monica and leading her towards the door. My mother tried to intervene, but I felt paralyzed, unable to believe this was happening at my wedding. There was a commotion at the exit as my bridesmaids tried to escort Monica out, but she and my mother resisted. Eventually, they left, leaving me distraught. I retreated to the restroom until Aaron reassured me that the guests wouldn't judge me for their behavior. Though I didn't feel better, I knew I had to stay strong for everyone's sake. After the event, I discussed the situation with my dad, who promised to talk to my mother and make her apologize. However, I told him I didn't need an apology from her. Days later, my mother contacted me not to apologize, but to insist that I leave Aaron, claiming he was the crazy one for trying to drag Monica away physically. I couldn't help but feel uneasy about my mother's accusations. She claimed Aaron's actions towards Monica at the wedding suggested he might harm me too. I found it a stretch to compare Monica's behavior to mine, as I hadn't made anyone uncomfortable or played the victim. That was all Monica's doing. Aaron was simply trying to prevent her from ruining our wedding, and he did so with respect. I told my mother she should be thankful I didn't resort to violence like in the cafeteria years ago. She argued that both Aaron and I were in the wrong for supporting physical actions, even though she acknowledged Monica's wrongdoing. She admitted she shouldn't have invited Monica without consulting me first, but insisted we should apologize for Aaron's actions. My husband wonders if he should apologize for physically removing my sister from the microphone and escorting her out of the venue, but I'm unsure about what to do. Since Monica delivered a hurtful speech at our wedding, there's been an update. It's been a week since I last posted, and most comments agree that my husband may have been too rough in handling her. So we've decided to apologize to her solely for that aspect. Aaron has already composed an apology letter, which he'll personally send to her. I'm just hoping this ordeal will end soon. My mother has been pressuring me to apologize to Monica for the wedding incident. However, she hasn't apologized to us, nor do I expect one from her, as she likely doesn't see her actions as wrong. Her apology holds no value to me anyway. I just want Aaron to apologize so we can have peace of mind. If Monica wishes to apologize to us afterward, that's fine. But I'm not holding my breath. I know her true character and don't want to waste any more time dwelling on her or my mother's perspective. Once this is resolved, I'll be blocking my mother, as she's never been understanding since Monica's birth. My mother always had a favorite, but I never thought her bias would blind her so much that she couldn't distinguish right from wrong. Anyone with a bit of sense would see that Monica never meant well for me, especially at important events like weddings. My mother is the real culprit here, yet she insists Aaron, and I should apologize rather than Monica. At this point, her behavior doesn't surprise me. She's always treated Monica like she could do no wrong. I'm tired of trying to meet her unreasonable standards, which she only seems to apply to me. Despite Monica's actions, I've tried to maintain a good relationship because of my father. But now even he knows I'm done. After sending the apology, I'll inform my mother that it's over between us. We emailed the apology to Monica, hoping it would suffice, but she didn't let it go. Instead, she posted a screenshot of our email on social media, boasting about making us beg for forgiveness. Her post infuriated me, and I wish there was a way to retract sent emails. Though we don't follow each other, a cousin informed me about the post. Feeling angry, I called my mother to address the situation. She tried to downplay Monica's actions, calling it pettiness, but I wasn't convinced. She even suggested that people probably hadn't bothered to read it, trying to ease my concerns. However, my relatives were actively texting me about the post, and even some old high school acquaintances were asking about it. I gave my mother half an hour to remove the post. Otherwise, I warned her I would take matters into my own hands, and it wouldn't be pleasant. I possessed more information about Monica than my mother realized. Things I hadn't even mentioned in my post. If I disclosed all that on social media, Monica's reputation would be irreparably tarnished. I didn't want to escalate the situation, but if my mother didn't act, things could get ugly. She assured me she'd handle it. But an hour passed with no change. Aaron and I decided it was time to reveal the truth about Monica. Besides the incidents already mentioned, there was one more thing I hadn't disclosed in my post. This time, I was ready to expose everything, including Monica's affair with her best friend's husband a couple of years ago. This scandal was well hidden, with only a few knowing about it. Monica's best friend, who also attended our high school, confided in a few close friends, one of whom spoke to me about it. Despite knowing, I kept quiet out of respect for her ex-best friend. But now I'm done caring. I decided to make it public to ensure that everyone from our high school learned the truth about Monica's character. The best part? I didn't need to resort to lies or half-truths like Monica did. Everything I said about her was 100% true. The likes started pouring in as soon as I posted it. Monica had been quite popular in high school and college, so people were scandalized and curious about the affair and her attempts to flirt with my husband. Monica had always had a mean streak, and my post was just evidence that it wasn't anything new. She had always been this way. My mother's support only fueled her behavior further. After posting, Aaron and I felt a sense of relief. We had done enough to stand up to her. I didn't want to deal with calls or texts from friends, relatives, and especially my mother, so I turned off my phone, and so did Aaron. We decided to take a break from electronics and went for a walk instead. When we returned home and finally checked our phones, it was almost midnight, and the notifications flooded in from everyone I knew. I decided to check my mom's messages first, and unsurprisingly, she was on Monica's side, trying to guilt-trip me for talking about the affair. She said Monica was upset and couldn't stop crying, but I didn't feel bad for her, especially after what she put me through. I ignored my mother's messages and checked the comments on my post, which were all against Monica, making me feel vindicated. It's been a day since I posted that update, and by now, pretty much all my family and everyone from my high school days has seen it and had something to say about Monica. I don't feel guilty about it because she's always tried to get under my skin, and this time, she deserves the consequences. The post will stay up for as long as I want, regardless of her reaction. Update 3. Hi, everyone. It's been 2 weeks since I posted that update, and I decided to take it down yesterday because it served its purpose, and I don't want it on my feed anymore. I blocked my mother and Monica a few days after the post because I don't want them anywhere near me. My dad fully supports my decision, even if it meant exposing Monica's ex-best friend. Though I didn't name her, everyone from our high school knew who she was. I don't feel particularly sorry about it, especially considering how mean she was to me back then. Aaron and I are enjoying our honeymoon, but I remembered to post this update after someone asked about Chris. We're still friends, and we might meet up soon. Regarding my parents, my dad mentioned considering couples counseling or even divorce due to my mother's irrational behavior, which surprised me. He's tired of dealing with her antics and even told me she tried to talk him into disinheriting me for Monica's sake. I assured him I'd support whatever decision he makes, even if he chooses to stay with my mom. However, I hope they consider therapy, as it could benefit both my mother and sister greatly.